Hi guys, my name is Eniola Tito Abumere. I report for OLORISUPERGAL Media. Now on Saturday, June 29th, myself and 18 other men and women of the press and from media were invited to the DSTV office and the Big Brother Naija production studio and the Big Brother Naija House to get a behind-the-scenes look of the inner workings of the entire show, which started yesterday, June 30th. Anyway, here's my review of my Big Brother Naija experience. Our visit started with a briefing in the conference room where the good people of DSTV told us the do's and don'ts and told us why we were there and gave us an overview of what had gone into making this year's Big Brother Naija experience or production happen. There's so many new things. It's a new house, it's a new environment, it's new technology, so many things are new. After the briefing, we made our way into the production facility, into the production building. We were lined up and first order of business was to take our phones and our wristwatches from us for obvious reasons. And then from there we went into the master control room where we were shown the state-of-the-art technology and audiovisual equipment that's used to broadcast the entire production of Big Brother Naija. Everything was segmented, everything was well arranged. There were I think I counted about 3 rows of where people sit and do their job, and it was amazing to see how everything was so segmented. For instance, there's a desk where the people on that desk they archive emotions, which makes it easier for the highlights reel, for example. So this person captures smiles or crying or laughter and archives it in a file by each housemate's name. From the master control room, we moved into the audio studio or production studio where the sound is edited and captured. So from there, we were moved on to another level of the building where the post-production and editing happens for things like the highlight show, like I mentioned earlier. I'm an editor as well, and I noticed that the software that they use is not what I use. It's some high-end stuff. I think it was Avid. The studio looked really clean because they built this building. Is the first time they're using it. They built it recently, I believe, over the past few months. So everything looked really new and really state-of-the-art, and it was all very impressive. From there, we were moved downstairs to the production floor where, Ebuka hosts the eviction show, or will be hosting the eviction show, and as well as the opening show that will happen or has happened, depending on when you're watching this. We actually did get to see Ebuka, but because our phones were taken from us, people couldn't take selfies with Ebuka. But yeah, so we met him, saw the production floor for where the eviction show happens. Then from there, we were shipped into the Big Brother house, the main attraction. So we got into the Big Brother house, we went down a very dark corridor, and they opened the doors and we were ushered in, and it was great. It was quite a feeling, I won't lie, it was quite a feeling. So let me take you through the house for now, right? So once you get into the house, as you've probably seen on the show, you come in through those double doors, and what you see first is the dining table on your left, the living room on your right, that way, and then in front of you is a corridor. So it's kind of like L-shaped, right? So it's L-shaped, and in front of you is in front of you technically on the right is a corridor leading to the rooms, and then also in front of you on the left is the kitchen and the storage area. So you step, through the doors, and let's say you're standing at the door, you have the dining table on your left, or the dining area on your left, you have the lounge or sitting area on your right. Behind the lounge and sitting area, you have the first bedroom. And then also on the right, there's a door that leads to the jacuzzi and the outdoor space where, they have fun and all that. We didn't get to go through there for whatever reason, which kind of sucked because we really wanted to go in there. Also on the right is the head of house chair, or what we call the throne. So that was on the right at the extreme, just next to the flat screen TV. On the left, you had, like I said, you had the dining area, but you also had the diary room, which is just straight, that way on your left. A little bit further down on your left was the door leading to the arena area, which we also didn't get to see. But yeah, so that's there. Further down on your left, you have the storeroom where, the housemates get to get the stock of whatever for cooking and other things that Big Brother has for them to use in the house. And then, like I said, there's the kitchen. So now let's head straight down into the house. So straight down is the corridor leading to the rooms. What you have once you go down that corridor is on your right, you have another bedroom, which is the room I was in. So once you go in through that room, the first bed on the left was actually mine. I don't know who is occupying that bed as at now, but I will find out. But yeah, so that's the first room. In each room, I think in my room, I counted the beds, there were 10 beds. So that means there must have been 11 or 10 beds in the other room. That's the room behind the lounge or the living area. So across from that room, you have the head of house room, where the head of house has his own room with his own bathroom. So that was right across. It looked all right, nice bed, and it's just nice to be in your own room without having to deal with a multitude of people. It was open, so we got to check it out. So you come out of the head of house room, you're back on the corridor, then you have the storage area that you've actually seen a lot of, which when I was there looked like a lot of space, but now that the housemates have moved in with like 2 or 3 bags, there's barely enough space for the real actual housemates. But when we were there, we only went with like an overnight bag. So yeah, so you have that storage area, which is, you've seen it on the show, which is like that, and then moves a bit to the left. And then at the end of that storage area, if you head to the right, that's the shower and the bathroom. Yeah, so you go in through there, and it's like the shower is big and accommodates like 2 or maybe even 3 or 4 people. It's actually quite cool looking. I didn't shower in the house, so yeah, spoiler alert, the day after I didn't shower. We left and I went home to shower, long story short. But yeah, I had a look inside. Lovely shower. Then you go further down past the shower, or the shower doors, and then you have 2 toilet units. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Then you come back out, get back to the dining area. The kitchen area is pretty much self-explanatory. It's quite long. You guys have seen it on the show with, like a bar area with this bar stools, and at the end of it is the sink and the cooker on the right. I actually spent quite a lot of time in the kitchen because I don't know, I just found myself there and I wanted to be helpful. I don't do that much cooking, so I was washing things like, well, cutlery and plates and whatnot, but also food items that needed to be cooked. I think that night we made white rice and stew, and with chicken and beef. The house was stocked, fully stocked. There were snacks, there were drinks, there was alcohol, we couldn't finish the food. I think some people actually tried to finish the food in the house, but we couldn't. It was that well stocked for 19 adults. And then, there was no music up until about after we ate. We kept on asking Big Brother for music. He eventually played music. It was awesome. People were having fun. At this point, or at some point, people were slightly inebriated and, tipsy. So things were kicking in a bit. And I guess my fellow housemates for the evening started playing certain truth or dare type games, at which point, don't ask me why, I went to bed. I was really tired. It was actually a long day, so not as if I was dodging anything, but I just went to bed and I tried to call it a night. But I learned, now this is something I learned about being in the Big Brother house. Going to sleep in a room where you cannot switch off the lights and you can't turn off the music, and there's several other people in that room, kind of like boarding house, is very, very hard. Because I'm used to, I don't sleep with the lights on, I turn my lights off, I don't sleep with music, and this was loud music going on as I was trying to sleep. And the lights in the Big Brother house are incredibly bright, for obvious reasons, because it's a production and everything needs to be well lit. And they didn't put the lights off, obviously, because the lights are on everywhere in the entire house. People were still having fun in the lounge, making so much noise with all the fun they were having. And there I was with a couple of other people in the room trying to go to bed. It was riveting. I had a better appreciation for people who have been in the Big Brother house under those circumstances. So that's something I learned, and that's something I appreciate now that I watch the Big Brother house, being someone who has been in that house. What my fellow housemates, the other press and media men and women, also noticed at some point was how attached we were to our devices, our phones and whatnot. So at some point people were like, oh yeah, I dropped my phone with the DSTV people. But you know, we felt kind of odd because many of us haven't gone that long without our phones. So it was kind of weird, but naturally it forces you to interact. It would have been a totally different story if there was even one phone in that house. People have been so distracted. Also, fun fact, Denzel from the season that Delish won, I think back in 2013, he was with us. He was in the house as well. He was one of the press and media people. And then there was also Hillary from Kenya and two ladies from Ghana and a lady from Zambia. So it was an eclectic mix. There were more men. I can't remember the distribution, but there were more men than women. So my takeaways from the entire experience, you know, is that the Big Brother Naija production is huge. We must have seen, you know, between the conference room and the Big Brother house, we must have seen at least 60 to 70 people. And this was for a test run, not the actual production. There was so much going on in preparation for the show, in preparation for a fantastic delivery of the show. And also, us being in the house or spending the night in the house was for them to test run several things just to see how things work so that they don't have to test with the actual housemates. They kind of tested it with us. We didn't mind. And I hope that it was beneficial. We gave them our feedback when we came out of the house. So it just gave me a much greater appreciation, not just of what the housemates go through living in a confined space for 90 days, but in this season's case, 99 days, but also the amount of work that goes into the production of the show. Yes, we know a lot of money is spent to bring Big Brother to our screens, Big Brother Naija to our screens, but the human resource is something that you don't really think about. There are probably hundreds of people that work different 24-hour shifts to make the production happen. And seeing all that and appreciating the level of confidentiality and professionalism that goes into the production of Big Brother Naija, it blew my mind away and just made me have a greater appreciation, also as a media man, you know, of what goes into the production of a show like Big Brother Naija. So I just want to say once again a huge thank you, well, first of all to OLORISUPERGAL Media for, you know, letting me be the one to go into the house, but also a big thank you to DSTV and to the Big Brother Naija production crew and everyone that was involved, and to the PR firm that's involved behind the show, and to everyone we interacted with. You know who you are. You guys like anonymity, so I won't mention your names. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone all the other press and media men and women that were my housemates for the duration we're in the house. We are all now ex-Big Brother Naija housemates. You guys should remember to watch it all on DSTV channel 198 and follow the updates and the highlights and the behind the scenes and everything on OLORISUPERGAL on Instagram, Twitter, and on the website. All the contact information will be on your screen or in the description box below. Thanks again, cheers, and I'll see you in the next video.